Hey guys, my name's Tanner Brack. I'm a ministry event specialist with Student Life Camp. Hey, thank you so much for what you're going to do at camp this summer. We truly believe that life group leaders are the camp heroes. Camp wouldn't happen without you guys because y'all are the ones who are going to invest in students at camp. You're going to walk through the Bible study content with them. And we just want to say thank you for what you're about to do at camp by investing in teenagers all over the U.S. through teaching the Bible study content. And so what we hope to do in these videos is we want to walk through a high overview of what the Bible study content is going to be as you walk through it with students. And so we want to give you handles. It's not going to be super deep in the details or the weeds of what the Bible study looks like, but we want to give you handles and an idea of what you're going to walk through with your students each lesson. And so this first lesson, as we dive into our main theme of 2021's camp, is Take Heart. So we are super excited about this theme. Like, think about this entire past year where there's been a lot of craziness, a lot of hardships, a lot of struggling through quarantine and COVID. And we're super pumped that our theme is Take Heart, that God has aligned that to be what we get to walk through with students, that no matter what this past year has been, we get to take heart. Not because of anything that we do, but because of who Jesus is and what he has done on our behalf. And that theme comes from John 16:33, which says, I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart. I've overcome the world. So we're super excited for students to see that we have a hope and victory in Jesus, that no matter what this world throws at us, we get to take heart. So each day, we'll have a different daily theme. And that's going to be the title of the lesson, and that's going to be a simple truth that we get to walk through in that lesson. And in this first video, our first daily theme is past promises, future confidence. And the big idea, if there's anything that we want your students to walk away learning, is the main point. And that main point for this day is that we take heart because God has kept his promises in the past and will keep his promises in the future. So if there's anything we want students to learn, it's this, that we take heart because God has kept his promises in the past and he will keep his promises in the future. You'll kick off your Bible study with an icebreaker. It's just a simple game where you get to have some fun with your students that will hopefully start getting their minds thinking towards the future of what we're going to talk through in the remainder of the lesson. And this day's icebreaker is two truths and a lie. You've likely played the game. Your students are super familiar with it. And so start thinking now about specific truths and lies that you can do in this game. So I'll model it. And so two truths and a lie. I'm going to ask you to hold up a 1, a 2, or a 3, or just mentally, since we're on a video, and think through which one you think is the lie out of these. And so number 1, my great-great-uncle was a one-armed fiddle player in the Civil War. Number 2, I was once arrested for sneaking into an English Premier League stadium. Or number 3, I was in a house that was hit by a tornado. So which one do you think it is? If you guessed number 2, you'd be correct. I did indeed sneak into an English Premier League stadium, and that's a story for another time. Don't tell your students that. May not be the right thing to do, but I was not arrested. So I got away, but that's my lie. And so we're going to play this game, and hopefully as you play the game, your students are going to begin to realize the people they know more and know best, it's going to be a whole lot easier to pick out what lie that they're saying. When we know somebody, we know truth about them, we can believe what they say a whole lot better. And so as we play this game, hopefully that's going to get their minds thinking towards, man, how do we trust God? How do we trust his past words and give us confidence for the future, as we talked about in our main point? And our focus verse comes from Joshua 1:9 that says, haven't I commanded you, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So we'll be reading a lot of verses in the book of Joshua, looking at Joshua as he enters into the promised land, and we'll be talking about Rahab and her role in that story as well. But this is our focus verse, that we get to take heart because God promises to be with us wherever we go. And so in your Bible lesson, you'll see several different things. You're going to see a lot of discussion questions. We firmly believe that the more your student is engaged and interacting and voicing and talking among the lesson, the more they're going to learn. And so you'll see in your leader's guide, there are questions bolded, and then underneath it, there are answers that are in italics and in parentheses, and those are suggested answers. There may be other answers, but this is just us trying to help give you some handles about where we're trying to go. But as you talk through those discussion questions, what we hope your students will pull out is maybe 3 big truths kind of right here that I'll talk through. And one is that our confidence grows when we remind ourselves of God's faithfulness in the past. So Joshua is encountering this incredibly big task of going into the promised land, this promised land that had been talked about for years and years and years. And it's intimidating to lead those people into the promised land. But Joshua was able to remind himself of God's faithfulness to the people in Egypt and getting them through the wilderness to this point. And it was Joshua finding confidence in God's faithfulness in the past that helped propel him into the future. We'll also see that God's promise to be with us gives us confidence. Man, what a great truth that we get to hold on to. That in this verse, Joshua 1:9, that God promises to be with us wherever we go. And he's specifically talking to Joshua. But God also says that to us as believers in the New Testament in Acts, that wherever we go, God and his Spirit is with us. And that gives us such great confidence. And then also, as we talk through the discussion questions, we'll see specifically through who Joshua is and who Rahab is, that no matter who we are or what we've done, our faith in God is what defines us. That Rahab, she was a prostitute, someone with a past that was not one to be proud of. And Joshua, a man of courage who was leading an army, he had success and things that he could hold on to in who he was. And in the same way, you and I and your students, they're going to be looking to things to find their identity, whether it's social status or popularity, or maybe it's in sports or athletics or other extracurriculars. No matter what it is our faith in God that defines us. And we get to rest in that no matter who we are or what we've done, our faith in God is what defines us. And so as we talk through this, we'll begin turning the corner to go to an application truth, and it's called live it out. So when you see that, that's what it is. It's how do we apply what we've learned in our heads to our hearts and living it out beyond just this lesson. And what our students can walk away trying to implement in their lives is that even in the difficult moments of life, we choose to have faith in God and to trust his word. It's a daily decision that we have the decision and the choice to trust in God and to trust what he's saying or to not, and to trust things of this world. And so our application for this day's lesson is that we, even in the difficult moments of life, we choose to have faith in God and trust his word. So again, what do we want students to walk away learning in this lesson? It's the main point, that we take heart because God has kept his promises in the past and will keep his promises in the future. Man, we're super excited for students to learn this content. Have fun with it.